What's good, superstars? Back with another Veve video. We got Superstar Joe. We got Superstar Rob. What's
How's it
going on,
going?
Rob?
How's it going? How's it going?
Good. How are you? How are you?
I'm good.
Anyway, big day today. Big day today. We had an AMA. No drop. It was weird. It was 11 o'clock. My thumbs were doing this. I was like, why is my thumb twittering like that? You know. But used to the spam technique, obviously, but no drop. But we have a couple coming up. We're gonna go off with the news early on. And then we are going to get into the AMA summary. That's why you guys are here. You don't want to watch a 3-hour, 2-hour summary or review of that video. You want to just hear the quick pointers. And Rob's got that all covered. He took the notes for you. And we're going to go over that right at the end of this video. But you guys want to stick around at the beginning because we got all the latest. All right. So
we got a lot to talk about today.
First, I made this graphic.
I love it. I love
Become
this
a
graphic.
superstar, guys. Become a superstar. You can subscribe to become a superstar. It's free. All right. Hit that bell notification. You'll know when we post. And let me know. What do you think of the graphic? Pretty cool, right? Kind of reminds me of our YouTube page. Just a little bit of changes. But yeah, become a superstar.
Join the fam. Join the fam.
Join the fam. We know that you guys only like 20%. Oh, I think I said I would pull that up. Maybe I'll pull that up after at the end of the video. I'm going to pull up how much percent of you are subscribed. Okay. But anyways, let us continue. And the first thing that dropped pretty much today that I want to talk about is that bravosassassin.eth. This guy here is basically the owner, looks like a Veve set list. And one of our subscribers actually pointed us off to it is if you go to the website and you click learn in the top corner, look at this. Bam, boom, bam. All right, we're on Veve setlist, guys. We're 2 of the 9 videos showing up on their learn right now with the big boys, NFT Flenny, Foster Hilt, Veve Vault, all great channels, Sleeping Comics, Veve Vision, of course, all great channels, great content. But we're right there, guys. We don't even have 1,000 subs yet, so make sure you join the Superstar Nation because we're gonna be planning a little bit of a giveaway for you guys. We might talk about it tomorrow after we hit 1,000 subs because we're hoping to hit it tonight. So hit that subscribe button if you want to be in that giveaway because it's going to be a requirement. All right. So let's continue.
By the way, cool. shout out to Superstar Brave Veve Heart. He's the one that found this. Superstar Brave Veve Heart. Okay.
Go show him love in the comments, guys. Go show him love in the comments. But bravosassassin.eth. Go make sure you follow him. Oops, I'm already following him. That's what you got to do. And this guy's he's killing it with the Veve set list. We appreciate you. Thank you. But yeah, accept my friend request. I'm trying to DM you. Okay, so on to the next drop. This is for tomorrow, guys. They came out with a lot of stuff today. I told you. DC Cover Girls. We saw this. This was the teaser that we saw. Now we got the Medium article. We got Batgirl in the blue and the gray. Really clean. So the one thing before I scroll down, the one thing I noticed about this drop, none of them are FA, but they are clean, detailed pieces. And that might be what Veve's trying to do here. They might be trying to see, like, do more detailed pieces, do better than FAs. I don't know. Maybe that's what they're trying to do. Not 100%, but I like them. They're clean. So that's Batgirl. Nice. 13,777 editions, $60. So not the cheapest. Same as our Lotus Dragon.
Yeah.
So $60. Here we got another Wonder Woman.
Wow.
Realistic version.
Look at that.
Pretty dope. Got a nice little rope going on here. I thought it would be like a little with a sword or something, but with the rope, I'm still okay with it. But yeah,
she's detailed, realistic.
Detailed. Yeah, so realistic. You got the crown, everything is beautiful. Beautiful artwork, guys. And then we got Superwoman. Actually, I think of all the Superwomen, this might be my favorite one.
Or Supergirl.
Supergirl, yeah. This might be my favorite one. The way that it looks. It's just like more realistic, I feel like. The other ones, they had the cartoony one from Artist Alley. And the other one before, not my favorite. I guess she got like the nail polish even in this one. You see that? So,
wow.
Really cool. Really cool stuff. So yeah, the last one, 10,777 for the Wonder Woman. And then we got Supergirl, 7,777. And then we got Harley Quinn again. Again, another Harley Quinn.
Holy, look at that detail in the face.
Pretty cool. They got the little gun with the cork that goes into it, you know, the clowning around stuff going on. Ultra rare, 4,777. I'm not sure where that ranks in terms of number of mints compared to the previous. I think one of the early ones had like 7,500 mints, so maybe a little more scarce, but not too sure about the other ones. But yeah, this one's got details. It's got brown. It's got all different colors, right? So it's not just limited to the color palette, as black and white or whatever.
Okay.
But really, really cool stuff. What's your favorite one?
Oh, Harley Quinn, hands down.
Yeah, you like the Harley Quinn.
I just like the detail in the face and like it just
You can even
pops
see
right out of you.
the leather stretching and stuff. You know what I mean?
It's
You can see it.
insane. A second would be the Wonder Woman next for me. How about you?
I think my favorite is the Supergirl. I
That's
don't
sick.
know. I think it's pretty cool. It looks like she's flying almost too. I mean, you can put her like on an angle or something like that in your showroom. And the hair, something about the hair is doing it for me. Like it
You know
looks
what it
really
is?
realistic. The teeth. Look at these teeth.
No, you know what it is? It's your dream is to fly. If you could pick one power, you want to fly.
You guys don't
So
know
there you
about
go.
that interview. Check out last video. We talk about where we interviewed. But,
Yeah.
that was definitely discussed on there. But yeah, she's jacked. Wonder Woman is jacked. And,
yeah, seriously.
You know what though? Batgirl's pretty detailed too. I mean, look at the hair. Look at the bat there. I'd love to see like a 360 just to see how the back of the cape looks and stuff.
Right.
The back of the hair, back of the head. But I'm liking the blue and the gray and the yellow. It's doing it for me.
Very nice.
Yeah, that is the DC Cover Girls drop coming tomorrow. If you guys are lucky enough to get one, I'm sure that you will make some money off of that. Not financial advice, but pretty certain about it.
Pretty obvious based on how drops go. At this point.
Drops are going out in 0.1 seconds. Pili Fantasy. Not only did we get the details on the Cover Girls, we got the details on the Pili Fantasy. I still can't pronounce any of the names, so this time I'm not even going to try. But they talked about this in the AMA. I think Rob will get into it maybe a little bit.
Yeah, I will. Yeah.
It's another blind box. $40 for this one. And here's your characters. That's your common.
Wow.
Very detailed. That's another thing with these people. Look at this. Look at the colors. Look at the fan. Look at this. It's crazy. So, I mean, it's a puppet. It was a puppet fiction. Is that what they call it? Or puppet drama?
Puppet. Yeah, it's puppet drama.
Drama. So this could. I haven't seen the show. This may be exactly how they look. I'm not too certain. Or is it like a Mighty's version of them? I'm not sure. Let me know in the comments if you're familiar.
I've seen the Netflix show, by the way. I
feel like they're more
realistic than this one,
right?
This is almost like a Marvel Mighty.
This is like a Marvel Mighty's of it, isn't it?
Yeah, it kind of looks like that. Yeah.
That's what I mean. But this one, like I talked about yesterday, he's got the abs going so in the sword with all the details, so super sick. If this like glows and stuff, like glows, but like shines in the showroom. I want to see the back of the cape, what it looks like. I'm excited about these ones just because it's different, something that we haven't seen on the app yet.
Yeah.
But no, super excited about this. And if you can land a ultra rare, you're getting one of 3,888. The rare is 5,888. The uncommon 8,888, and the common 11,888. I think the common is the only one that's less than the Cover Girl drop.
Supposedly, Pili wanted Veve to have less mints, and there's like, whoa, this is a global audience. Like, we gotta bump it up a little bit, right?
So they met in the middle somewhere.
Yeah, this is a global audience. Yeah. We gotta go. A couple thousand, few thousand.
You know, the thing is, they want to keep people happy on the app too. I mean, I know you don't have a big chance of getting it, but you still have a chance. If you start dropping them to low mints, it's going to be tough.
Yeah.
But I guess maybe they want that secondary market action, that whatever percentage it is. I'm not sure if it says it here. How much percent they're going to take, but I'm assuming it's going to be the 2.5, but I'm not 100% sure on their deal with Pili Fantasy. So regardless, we're getting new things on the app, and that's very exciting, new IP. And this is Sunday again, February 6th. So now let's get into one of the big topics, which was bots and account restrictions. And Veve themselves dropped this article on Medium, on their Twitter. So if you did not get the AMA and you don't get all the information you need from this, you can always go over and read this document. I'm not going to read it to you guys, but bots and account restrictions, what you need to know. When they posted this, they're basically saying like, look, we hear all the tweets, all the complaints about bots, all the complaints about people getting banned unnecessarily, and they wanted to address it. And they surprisingly kind of defended their stance on this. And they did say that most people, if you did get banned, there is something on your account that is showing that you did something that didn't jive with their terms and services. You may not have even known you did it. That's another thing. And there's a bunch of different things, and they're all laid out here, what things that they were looking for. But they also explain in the article how 300,000 accounts have been disabled for botting or similar activities. That's huge. That is a huge amount of accounts disabled, considering that they have, like, I think today they announced 1.9 million active users or something like that per day.
It says it in this article too. I'll touch on that.
Yeah, so I'll let you get into that in more detail. I don't want to take away from your thunder, but
I want to compare it to our last video. But anyways, continue.
They just talk about the different types of restrictions. I guess you can either be just restricted, where you have access to your collectibles, but you can't do anything with them, or you can be completely disabled, where they don't even let you in. And I've seen both on Twitter. I'm not sure what causes what. You can read into it a little bit more. Here it says disabled, auto clicking or emulators, bots, any like obvious scripts. I think you're done. So guys, don't play that game. Just make it fair like everybody else. And if you don't get one, secondary market sometimes has a lot of hidden entry points. And that's what we like to talk about on the channel too. Like to talk about, oh, this is an area in the app where you might want to look. Maybe not financial advice, that type of thing, right? Whenever we say that, we're kind of hinting at what we may be doing in the background. Understanding account restrictions, and this just says like sometimes you might get banned or whatever because you didn't pay for your auction. The auction ends if you didn't pay, so they ban you.
Wow.
Yeah, they can be restricted for 72 hours. And if you're scamming, there's also like they were talking about things happening off app. They also talked about it in the AMA, and it's kind of, I still didn't get a clear answer on that one, but I think they kind of mentioned it in one of their Q&As, but they say something different in this article. So it's take it for what you want, deal with that how you want. For me, I'm keeping my gems on Veve until they got MTL.
Yeah.
Our policy on restricted disabled account. This is basically them telling you, like, look, if we did it by accident or if you got caught in the crosshairs, go set up a ticket and they'll get to it. And guys, I didn't get banned. I didn't get any restriction like that, but I did have a question, which I'll get into, about something else. And I did contact the ticket support, whatever, to get a result. And it took them like a day and a half to get back to me. So it was not crazy bad. I know that people are getting like all these complaints. Oh, they're not answering. It's been a week. Maybe for certain categories, it takes longer for them to get back because they've been stacked. But Veve also mentions like that when they run these bot things, that they shut down all these bots, they get like the bots coming back with bot emails. So they're getting the support tickets that are all the same, and you can tell that they're from the botters. So yeah, they're just saying basically it's not bots all the time. Here you go. There's a 1.9 million active users, and only 30,000 additions on average, sometimes less. So they're saying like, guys, it's a numbers game too, right? It's not just that. This is stuff that you're going to get into MCP, OUP, and then they're just like kind of downplaying what's happening in the environment. And false positives, we talked about that. They asked if CAPTCHA is good enough. They're saying it's not even that good of protection, so they don't even want to do that. I've gotten it once, and that was like finger tapping. So I think maybe just like you might randomly get it. I'm not sure. They do apologize for the bots when it's not bots and you're a real user. And then they get into KYC. I'll let you talk about that. I know you have that on your list. Yeah, pretty much. So guys, go read this article. It's detailed. It gives you kind of their side of the story because Veve has been very quiet on it. They've always been responding to tweets saying like, just go and leave a ticket. And then people are snapping saying, oh, your tickets take forever to get back to. Not true in every case. I got a response very quickly. So I appreciate that from the Veve team. And getting into that, we had a question. I forget her name. Nat Soria or something.
Yeah, it was Nat Soria. I remember that too.
Came on and said, guys, check your birth date on the app. And it's off by a day. Veve's trying to screw you guys because then when they disable you, you can't get your KYC to work because your birthday's off and it won't match your license, blah, blah, blah. Okay. So I freaked out. I'm like, my birthday's off by a day. If I get in the crosshairs here, I'm not going to be able to get back in. All right. So I did what you guys want. I went into the ticket system. I left Veve a ticket. I said, listen, guys, my birthday's off by a day. What's going on here? What happened? Is this app wide? Because my friends, my wife, everybody's birthdays are off by a day.
Yeah.
And I think I got a pretty good answer from the Veve support team. So I'm going to pull that up. Thank you for reaching out. The date of birth matches what we have on file. I gave them my birthday when I sent the ticket. If it's off by a day for you, it's likely the display difference because of the time zones and should not be a concern, which is like, don't even think of that, right? Like, so I think if you check at a certain time, it's going to say you're born a day before or something like that.
Yeah.
I don't know why it does that. It doesn't make any sense to me because the day's a day, regardless. But anyway, he says that he adjusted the time of date within our system, so hopefully it's now displaying correctly. So maybe he matched it up to Eastern time. I'm not sure. If you guys really want to change it so that happens, it might be a good idea to put in a ticket, and then maybe they'll just like do a big sweep of them if they see that a lot of people are asking the same question. Yeah. But I'm checking right now, and my birthday is in there, and it's correct. So last time I checked at night, it was off by a day. So I don't know if it's still off by a day for you. Maybe they flipped the switch when they saw my email. They fixed everything. Who knows? But just wanted to show this because they did get back to me. Dan W., you're the real OG. And basically, it makes sense.
He says, I have adjusted the time of date. So, I mean, you're good to go.
It might just be when I signed up. Maybe I signed up like in a late hour or something. I don't even remember when I signed up, so long ago, in November.
Yeah.
But it was just weird that everybody I knew had the date off by one day. And now I asked them. So maybe I just caught them. Who knows? But it seems like a pretty good answer. I mean, I don't know. I'm pretty good with it. So
that's why send us your comments, guys, because we'll look into it. We'll try to get you an answer.
Yeah, if you guys want, we're the bridge. We'll do what we can on our end. Okay, guys. Veve, if you're watching, email us whenever you want. We love it. All right, Dan W. Okay, so I'm gonna take this off the screen so you guys can see Rob nice and clear, and he can basically go through his list of notes about the AMA.
So the first thing I wanted to talk about was that 1.9 million, because that's a big number for us. We've talked about this. We made a video. If you haven't checked it out, why is it still very early to join Veve? And we actually did a projection graph, and we took the information we knew, which was 20,000 extra users a day, and we're right on track. We're right on track. If you take that 1.35 million, you go 20,000 over a month, you end up at 1.9 million. So as of now, they're on track for those 20,000 users a day, which is fantastic. And at that rate, we said there's another, 8 million? So we're almost at 2 million now. We're getting there.
Yeah.
There's millions of people coming to this app by the end of the year, guys. So you're still very, very early if you're just getting started. Remember that. Another thing that happened was they brought Alcon on for the first time. There's a lot of talk about him with Pokemon, right? And they were joking like, "Oh, look, it's an FA of Alcon right now on our AMA." And Alcon says, "Yeah, gotta collect them all," as a joke. So with that, a little play on Pokemon. Zing, right? That little play on Pokemon. So you gotta collect them all. So I don't know. He's making us all go nuts over that because we were all waiting for it, and we don't know when it's come, but it looks like it's on their radar with Alcon with that joke. Yeah. Another thing too, which I think was a pretty big announcement, was that they said by end of Q2 this year, they expect implementation of the OUP, which is the OMI utility program, where you can actually, I think they have a Medium article on it. You can look it up when it comes to burning the OMI, as well as the MCP, the Master Collector Program. So these are big changes, right? And the Master Collector Program might become in 6 months. And correct me if I'm wrong, but it kind of sounded like in advance they were going to do a raffle system that's randomized to start. Mm-hmm. So there'll be a queue in the, you join 10 minutes before the drop, and then they would randomly pick the people rather than hitting the button first. So we might see that a little bit earlier. He didn't give a timeline on it though. He talked a lot about the huge push, like quite extensively about a huge push to get into Asian markets. Talked a lot about Pili. This is why you mentioned that I had some things to say about it and how this is going to give them access to the Asian markets. He mentioned that culturally, these are like really sought out collectible items, and he compared them to the Muppets. I bet you if they bring the Muppets into this, there's going to be a lot of collectors going after those as well, right? So that's a big thing, and he's pushing Pili, but I think maybe that's all related to this whole thing about cross culture. He wants a cross culture by bringing in some of these collectibles that might be sought out somewhere outside of North America. And then, of course, the question came up about MTL. Everybody always wants to know about MTL. He says it's going great. They've done their first beta with that first group, and now next week they're going to expand their beta group, and they're going to use even more people because the people who have used it have been successful at the MTL.
Yeah.
Another thing we've talked about as well, you've mentioned this quite a bit, is that it's becoming so competitive to win drops. They need to almost expand the mint numbers of these drops so that you can pick up, so that more people can actually win drops. Like you were saying, your wife, for example, is getting turned off by the fact that she can't win any drops. So he says this is something they're very, very carefully considering. Maybe they're going to test a couple of them out in the future, but he's a collector and he understands that you can't go and dilute the market too much with these massive amounts of mints when you're already going to be bringing in massive amounts of brands.
Yeah, you got to do it when they're ready for it too. I mean, if you're moving from 1.3 million to 1.9 million, okay, it's massive growth, but it's not 1 million to 5 million. So when
Right.
you get into these larger numbers, you're going to either have to have larger amounts of mints, or you're going to have more drops, or you're going to have more simultaneous drops. I don't know if they can handle that yet, but it's something that they're going to have to do to combat that, to increase their growth at the same rate. Because I mean,
Yeah.
for sure, with no MTL, it's going to be hard already to grow the base. And then on top of that, if people aren't able to win drops and they have to spend $200 in the aftermarket to win or to get anything in their account, especially imagine you're brand new, like we've been in it. Imagine you're just joining. It's tough. It's tough. You have to entice new users. You can't just always be satisfying the guys who've been there for a long time supporting you. I get it. You want to give them the MCP and allow them to have some kind of reward for being there the whole time. And I'm totally for that. But at the same time, if you want to grow your user base, you have to have something in place that allows new users some kind of benefit. Maybe not a benefit, but like some kind of a reason to be there.
Well, he specifically said this. I'm going to jump ahead a little bit here during question and answering period. Someone's like, "Are we going to see multiple drops a day or a drop every day?" And he said, "Probably not. However, the plan will be that you have so much IP and brands on the app that you will only really buy the ones you like." So I guess when that happens, it kind of helps out with that whole kind of dilution, number of mints, and all that, right?
It worries me because that's not a fine line. It's not like one day you can say, okay, now there's enough stuff on the app.
True.
It's a really big mesh, and I think despite what they say, I bet you maybe by the end of the year you're going to have drops at the same time. I think it's just something.
Yeah.
Once they notice their users not increasing at 20K per day, why aren't they increasing by 20K per day? You can't just have this group of 1.5 mil that is satisfied, and then there's no new access. I mean, maybe there's money out there. Maybe I'm just don't have enough money in my bank account or something like that. But I think for the average person, which is what this channel was started for, I don't think everybody, and I'm sure all of you who have EV have talked to your friends, there's one barrier to entry, and it's you can't take your money out. And then the next one is it's impossible to win a drop. So
yeah. Well, yeah, exactly. So then, and he also, tied that into the whole thing with the MCP and the randomization. But anyways, so that's that one. He talked about just bots was the beginning, but he talked about bots. Joe's already gone over it. So the only things to add here is that he said dirty gems are legal. So if you're going to use escrows, use them at your own risk. Very easy to get scammed. I see them on Facebook all the time talking about scammers. So they won't ban you for it.
Something is illegal though. Something else he said is illegal.
He said massage guns are illegal. It's official.
No massage guns, but dirty gems are okay, apparently.
Right. So if you're using those massage guns, guys, I hate to say it, but you can get banned for that.
You got to use them on your body only now.
Yeah. And one super interesting point, unfortunately, for whatever reason, right when he said this, I was kind of distracted a bit. So maybe if anybody can confirm this for me, he said 30% traffic per drop is like bots, like something crazy like that. So I don't know. I mean, I think I must have misheard, but if you're listening, I'm pretty sure he gave the exact number of the bot traffic. Comment below if you caught that. Moving on to question and answer period. Lots of great questions. Someone's like, what's coming first, MTL or OMI to NFT? And he said, for sure, MTL is coming first.
So that's good.
You'll be able to take your money out before you'll be able to sell, buy NFTs with OMI. So another thing was, what percentage of users from Asia currently right now? He said 10% are from Asia, but he kind of grouped Australia in with that. So he's like, their top 5 are like Australia, Singapore, Hong Kong, Taiwan. And actually people from Australia have been, because there's such a big base there, and we have some of them that subscribe to our channel. So shout out to you.
We have a lot of Australian subscribers.
Shout out to Australia. But he said that people from Australia, and one of our commenters literally said like he hates waking up so early in the middle of the night to do these drops. But
it's not fair.
So they're thinking of moving it to 12 o'clock, but they said the 8 a.m. Pacific is the best time for them, for everybody globally. So they're sticking with that for now. Something to consider in the future, maybe if they do like an Australia-specific drop. they talked. One guy's like, and I'm sure there's some listeners out there who might be in this situation. They bought Omi on like Bit4X on ERC20, then they sent it to their wallet in Veve, but it doesn't show up. And the guy was like, "I sent a huge amount. I'm so worried."
Yeah, I heard that.
And the guy, and then they're just like, "Don't worry. You sent a layer 1 to a layer 1, but our app only shows layer 2. So you have 0 in layer 2, but rest assured, you'll still
It's
get it
there.
in. It's there." So that was
You got to
something to
make a
point out.
ticket. You got to make a ticket, and then they'll send it back to you. You have to give them a wallet address, because they can't switch it for you. They have to send it back to you on like a refund kind of thing, and then you got to put it through the bridge, I think, onto layer 2, and then bring it in or something like that. There's articles all over Medium, so look that up because that'll tell you how to transfer gems or Omi.
Yeah. I love the next question. I love this question because I like sports. It says, when can we expect sports? So he basically confirms sports are part of the plan for this year, and they're part of the long-term plan as well. They don't want to blow it. They said they want a long-term plan in terms of bringing in the whole, sport drops, but do expect some of them this year. And it's going to open up the market to, like, sport collectibles are huge.
Yeah. And
So
they said it would even be its own category. Like at the top of the page, you say
yeah,
sports or something like that.
yeah, I believe it. It's probably going to
Yeah.
be, cards, sport cards for sure.
Could be.
It might be items. We'll see.
Yeah.
And then he extended, though, and there seemed to be a stress on this in the MMA. They kept talking about anime.
Yeah.
They said anime is coming to Veve.
I was gonna
And
just say that. Yeah.
yeah, that was the next thing. The sports led to them saying, by the way, anime is coming. Again, this ties back into the Asian markets, and we know anime is huge, and some of these characters are probably going to be very sought after. So we can only speculate at this point what anime would come to Veve. Maybe we can do some digging, or maybe if you're listening and you have an idea, you can comment below and let us know. If you have any, yeah, go ahead.
That actually came up because when they were talking about the sports, someone said, okay, so if sports is coming as a category, what's maybe the soonest category to come? So that was the way that they worded the question. They said, what is the soonest category, like the soonest new category? So we got collectibles, we got comics. What's the next category that can come? And he pretty much gave it away and said it's anime. Like anime is the next one coming. So your next tab you're gonna have, there's gonna be anime somehow. I don't know how they're gonna do it. If it must not be collectible. I don't know what it's gonna be. Maybe it's 2D. I don't know.
It's gonna be huge, and this is, I guess, their point. Like, there's probably tons of people out there who are just not into sports, so they don't really care about the sport card. And there's probably tons of people who maybe aren't really into anime. And he actually mentioned that, like, a lot of people in Asia may not necessarily, like, especially China, they're not really into like DC and like Marvel. So this was his words. So maybe that's just all part of this whole idea that there's so much IP that you're not going to be able to own everything, and you'll kind of pick and choose what you want. Another super interesting thing, which we've talked about on this channel, is KYC. Someone's like, okay, if you're going to make it randomized drops, and what's stopping somebody from just bodying 100 accounts and sending them in and getting more chances to win? And he said that they will not, like, they're really, really careful with KYC. Right now, they want a very low barrier to entry to sign up on the app. They don't want to deter people when signing up. They said people in the crypto world are very used to it. They understand it. They think that for this to become mainstream, KYC is maybe a little bit too early, and that they were only going to introduce a very limited MCP, like your name, and so they can match your identification if you ever do have an issue. Also, their bot software will help block people who might be botting 100 accounts.
Yeah, so the IP or whatever, IP address.
Right. Very cool question. We all love Ecomi Wiki, but they seem to have a monopoly on the API. So the person asked, when will a public API be coming, so that they can also make their own models with the data? And the response was that it's coming. They want to make the API public for the entire community. They're actually very interested to seeing what the community is going to do with that API. However, they think it's quite a lot of work on their servers right now. It's really not their priority right now. And when they eventually feel prepared, they will release it to the public. Then, and I know Superstar Joe is going to love this one because he's been claiming this on the channel, every other video, which is, how do we understand the difference between an FA and an FE? Where's the guidance? And
somebody stole my question.
Yeah, somebody stole your question. So they said that they will they will be providing us with an article that will compare FAs and FEs and why some have it and why others don't.
When that comes, that's going to change the market, because right now people are assuming a lot. So when that article comes, we're going to break it down for sure, and we'll tell you our strategy based off that article, because I think that 100% market will change when that drops.
Yeah. And you know what? I think that's about it. I don't really think I have anything else to add. Do you have any comments before we close out, or are you good?
No, that's it. If you guys want to be in the 1,000 subscriber giveaway, we will put out some details on that in tomorrow's video or Sunday, one of those two. Whenever we hit 1,000, we're going to come up with the rules and stuff like that. But you're going to have to be a subscriber, so make sure you're subscribed.
Yes,
that's definitely important. So yeah, Rob, take it away.
So anyone who's watched this, I know this is probably our longest video yet so far, right? 30 minutes. So anyone who's stuck around, we appreciate you. Join the Superstar fam. Hit the subscribe button. Don't just watch us, join us. And we want to hear from you. Let's hear some comments. What do you guys think about the AMA? Let us know what you think. We respond to every single comment. So we are very, very excited, and we hope to see you guys in the next one. Take care.
Love you. Bye.
Bye.